Howdy folks, welcome back. We've got a medium difficulty puzzle here today. Medium. Timer's already going, so let's get rolling, shall we? Let's get cracking. So first thing off the top of my head here is I see these 3s and these 9s. Anytime you see double numbers like that, that really helps out in this quadrant, because I know I've got a 3 or 9 here in the middle. No 3 or 9 on the top, no 3 or 9 on the bottom. And I've got a 3 right here, so that's going to solve the 3 and the 9. Now with a medium, we're going to have to use some double eliminations. So single eliminations aren't going to cut it completely with this one here. Now I do see an 8 across the middle, 8 across the top. Just kind of marking off the ones that are coming to my mind here. Alright, let's see what else we have. Just kind of following numbers around the board. Zoom, zoom, zooms. We got some 5s this directions. We've got some 8s crisscrossing. We've got some 8s crisscrossing. We've got a 7 in the right column, a 7 in the left column. Anytime you see this kind of a format where there's just one number, it's good to check to see what's going on. Alright. Now if you notice, look at this 7 and 5 and 7 and 5. They're going to probably, I don't know, they're following this pattern kind of interestingly here. So no 7 or 5 here, no 7 or 5 here. So one of these two is going to be our 5 and 7. And that's all they can be. Cannot be anything else because there's only 2 spots for 5 and 7. So that is good for us because that will help us to find out what these 3 numbers are. They're going to be 2, 4, and a 9. Because those are the only 3 numbers missing in this row. And we've got a 9 here, so we know 9 is in one of these two, and the 2 and the 4 can be anywhere. So we're going to leave that for just a moment here. Speaking of 9s here, I'm following this 9 across, and I'm following this 9 down. Leaves us with just one spot for a 9 here. So just kind of marking off some of those. Okay, just letting my mind wander here, floating on some of these numbers, looking for some pairs. Okay, we've got 3 spots here we don't know. So I always kind of like to look and see what I can figure those out to be. And we've got a 2 and a 1, and what's the other number? 2 and a 1 and a 6. A 2, a 1, and a 6. Okay, so if we could ever find 2 numbers crisscrossing on one of these 3, that would be helpful. But we have a 2 down here, we have a 6 up here, and I don't have a 1 marked out just yet. So okay, I do see this pattern here. Anytime you have a line like this with a single number, double check that row, because I'm seeing this 7 here is going to fill this pattern, which means this is the only spot left for a 7. Then it's going to cascade these 2 fellers, because now we have our 7 and our 7. Alright, so that helps out a little bit. Now up here we needed a 5, and I've got a 5 and a 5. So here is our 5. And it looks like we're missing a 1 and a 2 in this cube. I'm going to look down horizontally and vertically, and I see a 2 here. So this is going to give me a 2 and a 1. Okay, so that is going to help resolve that one. Now, with no 1 here, I do have a 1 in one of these 2 spots. It's going to give me a ghost row. If it's here, it cannot be in any one of these other spots. And I also have a 1 across the top, and I have a 1 across the right side. So this here is going to be our 1 in this cube. Alright, I got 2 numbers available here in this cube. So let's, for this row, let's see what we're missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're missing a 4, 5, and a 6. A 4 and a 6. Double elimination, which is great. See that we've got a 6 down here. There we go, 6 and a 4. Now let's follow this 6 through, because I don't have a 6 in this particular cube. A 6 down the left side, a 6 up the right side. Only spot left for a 6. Speaking of 4, we've got a 4 down the right side. One of these 2 have to be a 4. Well, look at this, we got a 4 over here. 4. Now we're missing 2 numbers here, which looks like, let's see, we've got a 1. We don't have a 2 or 3, so let's mark those, shall we? 2 and a 3. 2 and a 3. I'm going to look vertically and horizontally. Now here's we don't have 2 marked here in this cube, but I see a 2 to the left, 2 to the right, so this is going to be our 2. which makes this one our 2, makes this one our 3. And the two numbers we're missing here looks like a 1 and a 6. And if we look to the right, we have a 1 and a 6. So we need to just flop those here. 1 and a 6. Okay, so that helps us out here. We're just missing one number here. Let's see, 1, 2, looks like we're missing the 3. Okay, and we've got our 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good. So we've got some numbers that are missing here. Now I see this 8. It's going to come down in this right column and 8 across the top. So 8 is the only one left for this spot. So now we have a row here missing one number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good. So now I'm missing two numbers here. Let's see. I'm missing a 2 and a 9. Okay. 2 and a 9. 2 and a 9. We'll mark those to help us out later. Okay, so see this pattern here where there's a line and then just one number? So always check that. 9, 3, and an 8. Okay, there's a 9, there's an 8, there's a 3. Okay, so like if there was a 5 or a 2, that would make that this number right here just by this canceling out that row. Okay. Alright, so let's look here. We've got two numbers missing in this column. Anytime there's just two missing, yeah, you know guys, I like to check those out, see what we're missing here. And it looks like we're missing a 1 and a 9. Okay, a 1 and a 9, a 1 and a 9. That is the only number that they can be. Same thing here. This column is missing two numbers. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it looks like we're missing a 6 and a 7. Okay, and that's double locked. That's all they can be, double elimination. So now we also know, again, this column, but we know what's missing two in this row here is, let's see, we've got a 1, a 2. Now we're going to need a 3, but this 3 right here is going to help us solve where the 3 goes. And then it looks like we're missing a 4. Okay, so that right there, double elimination with this 3. We follow this to the right. We have a 3 across the top, a 3 across the middle. 3 is the only one that can go here. See this 1 across the top and this 1 down the right side. 1, that's the only place that can go there. In this top cube we need a 1. 1 in the middle, 1 up the right, 1 goes here. Now we have a 1 that comes across the middle. We need a 1 in this cube, and we look down here vertically and we see there's a 1 here. So this is the only spot left for a 1. Okay, we're missing two numbers. What two numbers are we missing? 1. Okay, we're missing a 2, 3, 4, and a 5. A 2 and a 5. So I look down, no 2 or 5 in those ones. So let's just go ahead and mark that. 2 and a 5. 2 and a 5. Alright, okay. Let's see what else, where we're going here, what we're missing. This one right here, again, we're just missing one number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like we're missing our 7. And that 7 then cascades our solutions over here. That has to be our 7. That has to be our 6. Okay, very good. And I see that we've got our 1 over here from this one and this one. So that's going to cascade this double over here, 1 and a 9. Okay, let's see if that helps us out over here. We've got a 9 that comes across the middle, 9 that comes down the middle. 9 is the only one here. So we've got two numbers that are missing. It looks like, again, a 2 and a 5. So the same 2 and a 5, 2 and a 5, 2 and a 5. Now this is actually very good for us. Anytime a row, a column, or a cube have two numbers like this, then the third number has to be the other number that's missing. They can't be, even though there's no 2 or 5 here, or 2 or 5 here, this spot has to be a 2 and a 5, and this one has to be a 2 and a 5. So if this is a 2, this is a 5. If this is a 2, this is a 5. So this spot, even though there's nothing else saying it could be a 2 or a 5, is eliminated because of these two. So it's very important. So right here, the number we're missing is we've got a 1, we've got our 2, 3, 4, our 5 is in one of these two spots, 6, so we're missing our 7. So that has to be a 7 there, folks. Alright, and so we're going to find that this one here is also a 2 or a 5. See how they cascade? They're going to knock each other out and help each other out and solve that. So, and then when we look here in this spot here, we're also going to see that this 2 and 5 goes across. And once we hit one of these solutions, it'll cascade and help us solve the rest of them. Okay, so we've got two numbers missing in this row, and not a 2 and a 5, thank goodness. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're missing an 8 and a 9. So we go up vertically. Look, there's an 8, there's a 9. So we know we've just got to put the 9 over here. We know we've got to put the 8 over here. Very good. Alright, so what are the other numbers that we're missing here? And we know we've got a 2 and a 5. We also have to get a 4. Okay, is there anything helping us with a 4? We've got a 4 coming down. One of these two is our 4. Let's mark that just in case. Alright, so we've got a 1. We've got a 2, and any of these can still be a 2, 3. We've got a 4. Now our 5 can be almost any of these. Now let's see, what about a 6? Does something help us out with a 6? So a 6 comes down the middle and across the top. So one of these two can be a 6, and also you'll notice these two have a very similar pattern. The 6 comes up and the 6 comes across. So we actually have 2 spots for the 6 here as well. And then our 7, 8, 9. Okay, and our 2 and our 5. What are we missing here? We've got a 1. We've got, oh, here we go. See, this column here is only missing 2 numbers. Okay, what are the 2 numbers that we're missing? It looks like a 2 and a 4. A 2 and a 4. Okay, so let's mark that. 2 and a 4. 2 and a 4. So we've got our 1. Let's see, where else can our 2 be? Could be anywhere. 3, where else can our 4 be? So we got a 4 across the top and a 4 up the right side. So one of these two could be our 4. Okay, we have no other help with the 5s. It could be any one of these. And we've got our 6 identified, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to have to look for the magical triangle here. Because see, we've got this 2 to 5, 2 to 9, 2 to 9, 2 to 5, 2 to 5, 2 to 5, 2 to 5. I'm wondering if that helps us at all. If we go one direction, if that's going to correct it or mess it up. So if I did a 2 here, I have to try to remember that, put that in my head. If this is a 2, and we go to a 5, 2, 5, alright, and then this would be a 2, and this would be a 9 because this would be a 2. So that seems to work if I start with a 2. What if I do this as a 5? If I do this as a 5, then this is going to be a 2, this is going to be a 5, this is going to be a 2, this is going to be a 9, this is going to be a 2, and that'll be a 5. So that still works out. Not the triangle I was looking for. Oh, wait a second. I'm a goober. Look at this. We've got a 9 right here, folks. Yeah, you probably saw that a long time ago. There it is, that one number that we're missing. Well, 9 can't go here, so that means 9 has to go here, which guess what? That gives us our 2. Oh, I just missed it. And that's okay. That's I'm not going to take it too hard. But that right there, just one number is all we needed, folks. This 2 here is going to help us to cascade these. It can't be a 2 here. That's going to be our 5. So that makes this one a 2, makes this one a 5, makes this one our 2, makes this one our 5, makes this one our 2. Alright, so now we have a 2 down the left side and a 2 down the right side, so that means 2 is in the middle. This is the only one left that can be a 4 because of our 4 over here, and this is the only one left that can be a 6. Alright, so if on the top side here we see this one has to be our 4, we see this one has to be our 6, and then the only number left that we're missing is a 5. And there we go, folks. Alright, so I got caught a little bit there with my numbers. So for this game, for me, it would be to remind myself, even though I write the numbers down, don't forget to check them when you put the new numbers in. They can resolve them, and I didn't even see it. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had some fun with this game. Feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, or challenges. And we'll catch you guys all next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.